What's up? Dan here from the HilltopAds team. If you're a publisher, the wrong ad format choice doesn't just lower your CPM. It hits the UX, retention, and your total revenue per visitor. So today, we're breaking down how to choose the right HilltopAds formats for your site. Pop, in-page push, banners, video, multi-tag, and direct link, plus two quick examples, a movie site and a comics site. And in a minute, I'll show you the exact starting combos and the layering order that usually wins. Let's get into it. Let's talk about the mistake that kills publisher revenue in 2026. Chasing CPM instead of building a strategy. A lot of publishers do the same thing over and over and over again. I see this every day. They pick the format with the highest CPM, uncapped pops, heavy videos, messy stacks, and assume revenue will automatically go up. Guess what happens? Bounce rate jumps, session depth drops, page views fall. So even if one unit pays more, your total revenue per visitor goes down because CPM is only one piece of that math. What really drives long-term revenue is what users do after the first impression. Do they stay? Do they click to the next page? Do they come back tomorrow? That's very important. If people leave after one page because the experience is way too aggressive, it doesn't matter how beautiful the CPM looks on that one specific ad. So the rule is pretty simple. Optimize for total revenue per visitor, not the loudest CPM number. And that's exactly what the framework in this video is for. Picking formats that monetize and protect retention. Before we talk formats, you need one simple model. I call it the trade-off triangle. Revenue density, UX tolerance, and traffic type. These three decide what's right format even means for your specific website. First is revenue density. How hard do you need to monetize each visit? If your revenue per session target is high, you'll naturally lean into heavier formats or more layers. Don't push too hard. Push too hard and you lose retention, and that kills total revenue per visitor. The goal is the sweet spot. Strong monetization without breaking behavior metrics. The second thing is UX tolerance. How much ad pressure can your audience take before they bounce or complain? If your users are mostly one and done, you can usually be more aggressive. If you run a community or a content website with repeat users, you need lighter formats that protect bounce rate and your session depth. The third thing is your traffic type. Look at two things here, the device split and source. Mobile has less space and lower patience, so intrusive formats punish you faster. Desktop can handle more formats better, especially Popunder style behavior, and if you're a SEO heavy, be careful with anything that feels like an intrusive mobile interstitial. It can hurt your experience signals. So here's the key. You can't max all three corners at once. High revenue density plus low UX tolerance plus sensitive traffic is a bad combo. Most publishers make the same mistake right here. They pick by CPM first and only then try to patch UX. In a minute, I'll show you the starting combos that avoid that. Let's make this practical. Picture a matrix. Device split, mobile versus desktop on one axis, UX tolerance, low versus high on the other. Here's how to think about it. Mobile heavy plus high UX tolerance, think streaming, downloads, free content with ads. Here you can run higher impact mobile friendly formats, but with control. The best starting combo, video slider plus a disciplined Popunder. What is a disciplined Popunder? Click on delay plus strict caps. Why it works? You get strong revenue density, but you don't block the content instantly. Trade-off, you earn more upfront, so you must watch bounce rate and cap frequency. Mobile heavy plus low UX tolerance. Now, let's move to the opposite mobile case, where users leave fast if anything feels intrusive. Here's the priority is monetize without breaking the session. The best starting combo, in-page push and or a clean banner. Often a light sticky can work. In-page push is especially useful on mobile because it stays visible without hijacking the screen. Trade-off, lower instant CPM than pops, but better retention, and that usually lifts total revenue per visitor. Desktop heavy plus high UX tolerance. Alright, switch to desktop. When users have more screenplays and higher tolerance, you can push revenue density harder. The best starting combo, MultiTag banner, a smart, flexible format that can automatically choose the most effective ad option based on performance signals for a given user and placement, helping you maximize revenue without manual micromanagement. Desktop heavy plus low UX tolerance. And finally, desktop traffic with loyal users. Typically websites with strong user communities. Here's the rule is simple. Protect trust. Best starting combo, banners in safe placements, header, sidebar, maybe light inline. If you add Popunder, keep it clean and kept. For example, once per session or once per day, once per hour. It's often less distracting than adding more on-page units. Trade-off, you sacrifice long-term aggressiveness, but you protect repeat visits. And repeat visits compound revenue. So, that's the matrix. Device split plus UX tolerance gives you a clean starting point. Now, let's break down each HilltopAds format briefly so you know exactly what you're choosing from. HilltopAds has 6 core publisher formats. Here's what each one does, when it works best, and what to watch. The first one is my favorite, everyone's favorite, the most profitable, Popunder or pop-up, the king of ad formats. Highest revenue density, but it can stay UX friendly if you trigger it correctly and cap it tightly. A single Popunder per user per session is often cleaner and can earn more than stacking the page with 10 banners, because it avoids constant on-page noise. Pop-ups open on top, Popunders open under the content tab and feels less intrusive. Use this format for high volume, short session traffic. If you want the revenue of pops with better UX, ask your HilltopAds manager to run Popunder. Set a click or delay trigger and cap it to once per session. On mobile, be extra careful with triggers and frequency to protect user metrics and compliance. The second one is in-page push. Notification style ads inside the page. No opt-in needed. Great for mobile heavy sites because it's visible but usually not disruptive, and it works across browsers, including iOS. Use it when you want a middle ground between banners and pops. Watch relevance. If the message feels off topic, users perceive it as spammy. The third one, banners. The safest baseline format. Lower UX impact, stable long-term revenue, and easy to scale without wrecking retention. Best for loyal audiences, like for content sites with strong communities. The key is placement and viewability. Test sizes, locations, and don't overload pages. The fourth, video formats. Video vest or video slider. The vest is for sites with a video player. Pre-roll logic, classics, perfect for streaming or movie environments where users expect ads before the content. Video slider is outstream, a small video unit that appears in a corner and stays viewable without blocking your content. Use video when you can capture video budgets and your audience fits the format. Watch page speed and script weight. The fifth, multi-tag units, the new word in advertisement. Multi-tag is a single tag that can run more than one format from one setup. It simplifies implementation and can improve fill and revenue density by mixing formats intelligently and adapting to performance. Use it when you want to scale faster and manage inventory efficiently. Just keep in mind that it increases overall ad density. So monitor bounce rate, session depth, and complaints, and start with conservative frequency settings. The sixth, direct link. A monetized URL you can place anywhere. Buttons, text links, social posts, off-site placements, no scripts needed. It's really great when you can't run code or as a supplemental sponsored action like alternative download button. Zero page speed impact. you earn only on clicks, so the job is getting clean, intentional clicks without misleading users. Next, let's apply this to two real publisher setups, a movie site and a comics site, so you can see what to start with and what to avoid early. Let's start with a classic, a free movie streaming site. Most traffic is SEO to specific movie pages, and around 70% is mobile. People can stay 20 to 40 minutes, but the first 5 to 10 seconds decide everything. Hit them too hard and bounce spikes. And a messy mobile experience can hurt SEO signals. So the goal is simple: high revenue per visit without destroying the first impression. And this isn't the theory. We've got a real movie site monetization case from HilltopAds with the exact setup and takeaways. I'll leave the link in the description if you want to dig deeper. The link is right here. Here's the mix that usually works. And the order I'd start with is, let's say, first video slider or multi-tag video slider. A strong base layer for streaming. Visible, mobile friendly, and it doesn't block content immediately. The second one is Popunder on user action. On SEO plus mobile, trigger it on click, like play, and cap it to something disciplined, like 1 per session. Done right, a single Popunder can outperform adding more banners without filling the page with noise. The third thing, in-page push. Add it with a short delay, keep it light, cap it, for example, 1 per session or per day. It monetizes mobile without the full screen interruption. And don't judge this by CPM or CTR alone. Watch bounce rate, session depth, page speed impact, complaints, and effective RPM or eCPM, and optimize by placement. If metrics drop, remove the weakest layer first. Scenario B is a niche comics site. Around 80% is desktop, users are loyal, they read long hours, they come back daily, and yes, many of them use ad blocks. So here, monetization is not about aggression, it's about stability and low disturbance. If the site gets annoying, people leave, and the community dies. So the strategy is monetize consistently, but stay invisible. Here's the safe mix, again, in order. The first and the best is very occasional Popunder for desktop, strictly capped. Let's quickly recap. A Popunder is not the same as pop-up. It opens behind the content tab. Your precious visitor stays right on the website tab, the content tab, and keeps reading. Think once per day or once per session, not more. The goal isn't to spam loyal users. The goal is to monetize a portion of adblock heavy traffic without triggering backlash. Plus, just 1 Popunder per session can bring you better earning than a bunch of distracting banners. The second option is banner multi-tag. Header, sidebar, and light inline between posts. Keep ad density reasonable and focus on one thing, viewability. On comic site, viewability plus placement quality will beat more units almost every time. The third option, direct link as optional support. A clear sponsor or support the site button in the footer or a pinned post can bring revenue with almost zero UX impact. It's voluntarily, and that matters for community trust. What actually matters, your budget wins come from proper ad format and page speed, not piling on units. And you can run any Popunder at all. A simple transparent note like ads keep the site free often reduces complaints. Now, once you decided your starting combo, the next step is getting it verified, paid, and optimized from the dashboard. Here are the HilltopAds advantages that make the workflow simpler. Before we wrap, here are the core HilltopAds strengths that make most to publishers day to day. The first one, highest CPM rates across multiple formats, so you can maximize revenue without relying on one aggressive unit. The second, weekly payouts from just $20, so cash flow stays predictable even for smaller websites. The third thing is safe and clean ads only. We have a very strong quality control to protect UX, retention, and your brand. And last but not least, personal support included. You're not left guessing. Your account manager can help with zones, caps, and placement tweaks to get you a stable, scalable setup faster. All right, quick wrap. Choosing formats isn't about chasing the highest CPM on one unit. It is about building a mix that fits your traffic and protects the site metrics that actually compound revenue, retention, session depth, and repeat visits. So keep it simple. Start with one base format that matches your UX tolerance. Add a second layer only if metrics stay healthy. And scale by what you can control: placement, frequency, and device split. You now have the practical toolkit. Popunders, pop-ups, in-page pushes, banners, video, multi-tag, and direct link. The best setup is the one that grows total revenue per visitor over time, not just a short-term CPM spike. Now I want to hear from you. What site do you run? And what's your split? Movie? Is it streaming? Is it comics, downloads, tools, content? And mobile versus desktop? Drop that in the comments and we'll suggest a safe starting combo and a layering order for you personally. If that helped, subscribe to the HilltopAds channel. We'll keep posting practical publisher monetization playbooks, format choices, placements, and optimization from inside the dashboard. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.